Jacob Phaup, who's going to take about 1 million face-offs this year. He is a one-man gang at that face-off X for Syracuse, and he's had a really good year. Meanwhile, for North Carolina, you're going to see a combination of guys because they've had a lot of injuries. Zach Tucci's going to start the game for the Heels.
Zach Tucci and Andrew Tyeryar, a week ago when I was down in Charlottesville, both had lower leg injuries, were hobbling around. You watch number 7 in blue when he runs off the field. It's not even a run. It's barely a jog.
At the first possession of
a couple seasons ago, he had 20 goals. He's been nicked up. He had a knee injury that really slowed his start in 2022. But if you had him and Lucas Quinn supporting Dordovic and Curry, then the offense evolves.
Buttermore's 6th of the year. Now Tyeryar taking the draw for North Carolina. Wait for officials' call. North Carolina ball, and Chris Gray will put it in play.
The match highlight tapes from high school. I saw him play against big-time competition behind the backs. Those shovel-type shots. He has creativity in his game.
Lance Tillman with a nice find right on the doorstep, and we're even at 1 apiece. Phaup.
Easy. Too easy for Chris Gray.
40th goal of the year. That might have been the easiest one for him. He now has a 51-game point streak.
Yeah. And dodging. That allows Gray to play within his true skill set.
Another violation on the face-off. It'll go North Carolina's way. Talking to Coach Bresci earlier in the week when we were here at practice.
That you'll see in the sport. So when he's adjacent and the ball's behind and he's on a wing, he's the one guy on the Carolina team you have to cheat to. You always want to start your defense inside out, but the rules don't apply when Chris Gray is on the opposing team. Like, you have to start out on him. You can't be that in tight if you're Brett Kennedy.
Grant Murphy picked up the loose ball, but it ends up in the back of the net as Bresci, on a day when he's the subject of relaxing with Paul Carcaterra, takes advantage of this situation. His 3rd of the year.
Straight toughness, one of the emotional leaders of this team. Your superstar, Chris Gray, absolutely crushes the top portion of the goal. And then about 10 seconds later, Alex Bresci does what he does best. Find a ground ball and advance it upfield. And the advancement, well, that was a shot.
Hear from Alex at halftime, relaxing. Talks about playing for his uncle. Good defensive play by Murphy to dislodge. Here comes Sam Alexo with a full head of steam.
He can shoot.
Instead, he dishes it off to Tucker. He can shoot. Banged up coming into this game. And Phaup has been great all year. This is one area where Syracuse can get back in this game. If they can win face-offs and dominate at the X, they can dominate possession.
Yeah, because Tucci and Tyeryar, the 1-2 punch, it's one of Carolina's greatest strengths. Both are hobbling along.
Right. You're going to push in the back here against Schwartz. It'll be Syracuse possession.
You look at Cuse, and he gets the defender to flip his hips.
He may have pulled something too, you know? Like, you look at the way he is out there, like he may have pulled something in his midsection.
Tough as nails. And Curry's back on the field, by the way. He was on the field last possession.
Another possession.
Just playing pack-it-in ball and forcing Chris Gray only to beat you.
Extends the lead back to 4 goals for Carolina. Tucci now back in trying to win. I take that back. It's not Tucci at the face-off X. Trying to throw some junk out there.
Because he's shown that he can play midfield. He's playing attack this season. And he's just an incredible athlete that shoots 95, 100 miles an hour with both hands.
6th straight face-off win for Syracuse. Alexo, he can shoot.
Those past goal line extended. So that's a good move and great recognition for UNC balls. An attackman, like you get a short stick deep midi, you got to go to the rack.
Now Phaup is really dominating at the face-off X. That's 7 straight.
You called it though. Right back, and he's back slinging it. Tells you something about the heart of Brendan Curry, 16 in orange.
3.5 to go. This will burn off the remainder of the clock in this first half. And it does. For a good bit of that first half, Clark, it looked like Carolina was going to
jump. He's not a jumpy goalie that overreacts. He sits on a shot, and then it's like a firecracker with that top hand.
Andrew Tyeryar in there for North Carolina. That breaks a string of 7 straight faceoffs won by Syracuse. The assistants on this Carolina team, and That, you know what you talked about in the first half? That's like William Perry's spot from last year. That's where William Perry used to camp out for 4 years.
An elite passer. That's hard for a lot of players, right? Because he just pries at the defense. He shows that he's going to the cage. Even if he's not going with conviction, he shows enough.
Tyeryar earns a face-off violation on that draw. So even though
Brandon Curry, certainly a pro, is ready, I've met number 11. This is not a mock draft. That's just best available. There's so many great offensive players in college lacrosse right now. I think it's attack and midfield heavy. But those are players that are going to have to switch positions. And when you look at the PLL, a lot of players. Dick, what a play by Chris Gray.
yet another hat trick for one of the all-timers, and you saw the all-time scoring list, now trailing Lyle Thompson by 10 points. Possession won by North Carolina, but can they turn it into a fruitful possession? Loose ball. Murphy snags it out of the air. Here's Kennedy. That's the guy you wanted. You wanted in his cross.
And then drops it in the dirt. Incredible back-to-back plays and awareness by two elite offensive players that will be playing lacrosse for the next 10, 12 years.
Phaup. Beats O'Connell.
Here's the story now, though. Jacob Phaup is doubling up North Carolina with the 12 face-off wins to their 6.
Yeah.
That could be something.
More possessions. Tyeryar wanted a call, didn't get it. And another goal by Syracuse. That time it was Seabold.
One team has Jacob Phaup. One team has two very good face-off guys who are both nicked up. This is a huge advantage. That's why I said in the second quarter, if this is a 4-goal game in the second half, the game is not over because of Jacob Phaup. To make it, take it, Seabold just deals with that pressure from Matt Wright, shoots through him. This is a monster story with Jacob Phaup at the X. He's just been dominant.
Coach Petromala, talking to him before the game, said Phaup is one of the most competitive kids on this team. He had about 20 just like him. Tyeryar, speaking of competitive, on about 1.5 wheels. Wins that draw. Now he's looking for help. He shoots it just as this horn sounds to end this third quarter. Cotter and Clark back with you. Start of the fourth quarter here at Dorrance, North Carolina, up 2 over Syracuse. And this one promises to go right down to the wire, as Jacob Phaup has owned the faceoff X, although Andrew Tyeryar has done yeoman's work for North Carolina here in the second half. But that's a big deal because it's getting possessions for the Orange, and that's why North Carolina cannot pull away from Syracuse in this game.
Yeah, I think Jacob Phaup has been awesome today, but he's been awesome all season, right? He was a guy that had his ups and downs in his college career, but his senior year, he saved the best for last. And now when the season's on the line,
it is.
To have a guy like Phaup, I think that just gives you some confidence in this fourth quarter. Even you're down by a couple, you just feel like you could have the momentum. You saw how quickly they scored 2 goals because of Jacob Phaup.
He's taken all but 18 of the draws this year for Syracuse.
That's a good look at it right there, but
Tyyrar's back in. Yeah, Tucci's back in.
Tucci and Tyeryar, both one-legged.
Look at Tucci with
about anything.
How did he get open there, Clark?
He's so good off the ball.
Was all over.
I know, but he is so good off the ball. That's what people don't realize with Chris Gray. They think, oh, quarterback handles the ball all the time. He is incredible off the ball, and that's why he's going to be such a good pro in the PLL. You put him around other playmakers, he is fantastic off the ball.
Now we had a quick restart.
Catches that, and I'll tell you what, those empty netters are not easy, right? Because you got to get that shot off right away.
And it's a big target staring at you in the face.
It's like, if I don't make this,
I'll never hear the end of it. He did make it, and it's back to a 2-goal disadvantage now for Syracuse.
To give this ACC 3 teams in the NCAA tournament, unless we talked about those bid stealers, right? If Jacksonville doesn't win their conference, so wow.
Yeah, this is going to be against North Carolina. This is going to be a minute. looked like Tyler Schwartz got up high.
Eventually he's going to have to pass him through, and he found that seam where the pass-through actually had an opening.
Phaup has won 16, lost only 8 today. Wins another. Tyeryar for North Carolina.
Still have 37 seconds left.
That's why this face-off is massive. As we've gone under 6 minutes to play in this game, this is 2 goals on this unreleasable 2-minute man up for Syracuse.
Battling.
Loose ball. Picked up by the Cuse. A chance here for Velas. Good heavens.
You're extra man. You're extra man, right? You think you have numbers, but you're extra man. They played in the national semifinals. Bresci was the ACC Player of the Year, right?
He was the ACC Athlete of the Year.
Yeah, Athlete of the Year. Gary Gates, the best lacrosse player of all time. They played when Syracuse went undefeated and won a national title in 1990. Leading their programs now. Must-win territory for both.
Great job by Tyeryar. Phaup initially won the draw, and Tyeryar knocked it out of the stick.
When you watch, North has been his secret sauce since day one at Cuse. And when his team needs him most, 16 in orange.
Now Tucci at the face-off dot for North Carolina. It's a 4-0 run for Syracuse. They have retaken the lead. Final 2 minutes. Marr gives chase, gets possession to Krieg and Phaup. I should say Tucci and Phaup. Loose ball. Won by Carolina, and it's won by Tyler Schwartz, who had the 2-minute penalty called against him, picks up a huge.
And Zach Tucci on one leg ties up Jacob Phaup, enough for Schwartz to get this ground ball. They use the pick game freeze upgrade just enough. And the jumper, the patented move of 4 and blue, drops it.
15.3 to go. Phaup, he's had an outstanding day. He's got to win this one. Tucci will counter for Carolina. Tucci wins possession and keeps it up in the air. It's a free ball. Clock winding down. Marr with possession. Can he hold it for the whistle? He does.
Is all about, but at the end of the day, not all face-offs are created equal. He's hobbling on one leg right now. Zach Tucci. Statistically, Syracuse owned the day, but the biggest face-off of the season for North Carolina, on one leg, Zach Tucci finds a way. Unbelievable game, Cotter. Unbelievable game.
Tyeryar and Tucci won the last 4 face-offs of the game. Tip your cap to them and tip your cap